Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to be having a little bit more of a meta topic. Every day that's gone by recently has made me feel more and more like I need to make this video, and that is my response to a lot of the negativity surrounding Warcraft, and more specifically, the negativity surrounding Legion. Now, I made a video about this kind of a while ago for some kind of different reasons, but ever since about 2 weeks ago when the whole Legacy Nostalrius thing came up, it seems like there's just been a lot of negativity in, I guess, like the Warcraft community and, a lot of the fan sites that I go to, a lot of the comments that I get, and, the WoW Reddit, pretty much everywhere is overwhelmingly negative, even more than it usually is. So I kind of wanted to give you guys a number of things. I want to tell you guys pretty much what I'm trying to do here on my channel. I want to give you guys at least some TLDRs of kind of the way I feel about some stuff, and also try and at least urge you guys to be a little bit more fair. And I think that there are some people who are not being fair. I think really, and this is kind of a problem, and I know I'm kind of, I don't, this might take me a little bit longer for me to kind of get everything out. Let me just say that. So there's kind of a, I guess an adage or a phrase or, something like that. It says basically, if you, in the middle of the road, whenever you take the middle of the road, whenever there's any sort of a discussion or an argument, you get hit coming both ways, right? And so I try to do here's what I try and do. I try and give you guys the most accurate information possible, okay? And that's my absolute goal. And you guys should probably know this, but, let's just get into some logic here. Some people think that I want the game to fail. I have a big YouTube channel, and I like to stream, and I like the game too, by the way, as a bonus. Why would I want the game to fail that I make all of my videos about? That's not something that I would really want to happen. And so, some people say that it's absolutely not true, and I'm sure myself making this video will not stop them from saying that. But I did kind of want to mention that as just kind of a preamble to what I'm saying here. Now, really, what I want to do, as I said before, is I want to give people the most accurate information possible. And I can't give people that accurate information by being optimistic. I can't give people that information by being pessimistic either. I have to be realistic, okay? And that's really kind of the goal that I want to achieve in all of my videos, is to give the most accurate and realistic indication, impression, I guess summary, information that I can give you guys, because I think that's the most important thing, is because if you're operating under false pretenses, anything that you can really, any conclusions that you can come to are probably going to be wrong. So, that is my goal in my videos, and more recently, especially when I've seen things that are maybe a little bit more hyperbolic than I would make make videos about, or that I would say in the game, just on the different fan sites and everything. It seems to me like I've tried to be even more fair and even more balanced and level-headed about things, because I think that there are a lot of people out there who they want to just kind of get the real talk, and that's what I really want to give to you guys. So that's kind of what I'm here to do, okay? And a lot of people, they call me that I'm trying to kill the game. I already said that I'm not trying to do that. And I also want to say one thing too. I don't care. I really don't care what other people say. And honestly, at least about me, right? There's a spider on the wall. What the fuck? Just a second, guys. Alright, so anyway, that's really kind of what I want to do, is I want to give the level-headed discussion that I don't think a lot of other people are giving. So anyway, I don't really care if people say that I'm like a Blizzard fanboy, if they say that I want the game to fail. It doesn't really matter, and this isn't like a haters don't faze me, put on my shades, right? It just doesn't really bother me. Sometimes people say something and it'll bother me because it's so stupid. I'll be like, wow, how did this guy put on his shoes? How does he even know how to breathe? But really just like somebody saying something like that to me online. I've been on the internet for a long time. That's not really going to bother me. But I do kind of want to say that for you guys, so you guys know kind of where I'm coming from. Now, I do also want to talk to you guys about a couple of the different issues that I've seen happening a lot recently, and just kind of tell you guys where I'm at with those things. So recently, actually, I think it was just today, the Legacy server petition hit 200,000 signatures. And whenever it hit 200,000 signatures, a guy Soda Poppin, he's a streamer. A lot of you guys probably know who he is. Yeah, I got in contact with Mark Kern, who is an ex-Blizzard employee, and who has a questionable history with another company. I don't really know entirely. Really, that doesn't really matter. I know that some people are going to talk about how this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That's actually kind of irrelevant. I'm just kind of telling you guys what happened. So Soda Poppin got in contact with him, and Mark Kern said that he will, in one way or another, basically make sure that Mike Morhaime, who is the president of Blizzard, sees this petition, and he's going to print it out and send it all to them. Now, I as I said before, I think they already know. You know what I mean? I mean, like, bringing them the petition and like having like probably one of their old friends do that, assuming that they are friends. I think that might add a little bit more weight to it. But if I was going to bet one way or another if they're going to add legacy servers, I would probably bet against it. Saying that, I do hope that they do add them in one facility or another, but I just don't really think it's going to happen. So there's been a lot of, I guess, like really like, people who really want to say that, Blizzard really wants to take everybody's money, or they don't really want to, admit that they're wrong or whatever else. As I said before, I don't really think that's here or there. It's really like they're not going to say if that's the case or not, and I don't really think that there's any real strong evidence for that. So I don't really like to go into that too much. The next thing is that a lot of people also, like very soon after that, got really upset about the Garrison table user interface on Legion Alpha, and the reason for that, it's very, that's not really kind of out of the blue or any kind of like crazy bullshit. Obviously people didn't like that in WoD. A lot of people didn't. Obviously some people did, right? But a lot of people didn't like it, and so seeing it again in Legion is obviously going to frustrate and upset a lot of people, especially whenever Blizzard said that they're going to try and distance themselves from Warlords of Draenor. In it's kind of what they said in one way or another. It's kind of what I got out of it. So seeing that is obviously a really, it was upsetting for a lot of people. But what I want to say to you guys is that please try to realize that a lot of this stuff is in testing. And whenever, like what I try to do, like whenever I made a video about this, what I think is important to do is whenever you see something like that you don't like, instead of necessarily criticizing that specific thing itself, you can do that for a couple of minutes, but what I really tried to use I guess like that situation or that bit of information to do was to use that as like kind of a launching pad to talk about what I would and wouldn't like to see in that same system. And that's kind of what I tried to do with the Clash Trials as well. Whether this is going to be in the game or not, I don't really know, but what I would really like to see is where that's going to actually go. Most of the time, by the time that we actually see anything that's actually in the game, it's probably already been decided on that it's going to be in the game. And so being able to give that proactive feedback about something that you might not necessarily know if it's going to happen one way or another, but being able to give the proactive feedback, so maybe somebody reading it, or like if there's a large enough group of people, they say, hey, there's people already saying that they don't want this, let's not even think about developing it. Once like it's kind of like a Newton's like first or third or second or whichever law, like things in motion tend to stay in motion, and things that are not in motion tend not to stay in motion. So if you make sure that things don't even go anywhere, that's probably going to be the best bet, and trying to prevent things before they even happen to begin with is probably the most effective way of making sure that they don't happen. So the last one that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the release date. Now, the release date is a video I did, it was actually a couple of days ago, and a lot of people were like really mad because I said, well, like Mists of Pandaria wasn't finished, or Cataclysm wasn't finished, and so what makes you think Legion's going to be finished? They basically were finished, for one. There might have been a couple of things that were cut, but basically they were finished. But the point that I'm trying to make there is that a lot of people really are kind of, it seems to me like they're looking for something to be upset about with the game and with Blizzard and everything else like that. And I don't really think that that's the best way to, I don't really think that, guys, a lot of people here want Legion, want Warcraft, want WoW, everything, want it to succeed. Okay, most people want it to succeed. And I don't think that having these types of discussions and, like automatically assuming that Blizzard is like doing something in the worst way possible is the most I guess like productive way of going about achieving your goals. And so what I would really kind of ask you guys to do, and everybody really, and this isn't just with Warcraft, but that's basically what I want to talk about today, is try to make sure that whenever you look at something, you try to take yourself out of it and as much of the emotion out of it as you can, and look at things and look at the facts and put things together and, put two on top of two and figure out what's really going on. And I think that if you go about that coming from one direction or another, you want things to be great or you want things to be bad, no matter whichever way, you're probably going to come to an incorrect conclusion. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I'm very critical, and I am always like, I make jokes, like the 6.2 or whatever was the joke itself or whatever I did the other day. It's because it is, right? But I mean, I also don't want to get too into it and like really just start getting on bashing on the game and everything like that. And the problem with like making any sort of a video like this is that people will immediately go onto the comments and be like, oh, you're just fucking apologizing for Blizzard, they're taking your money and they don't give a fuck about you and how much are they paying you, and all this stuff. That obviously, unfortunately they're not paying me anything. What I can ask you guys to do is do the same thing as much as you can. Of course there are sometimes even I mean, you guys know, I mean, like, there are a lot of times I go off the fucking handle too, but I try to keep it to a minimum, and that's kind of what I can ask you guys to do as well. So that's pretty much all I've got. If you guys have any feedback, I don't know if anybody else feels the same way that I do. And I mean, I'm sure in some ways I'm a contributor to this, and I try not to be, right? I think that everybody will probably fall short in one way or another at one time or another, but I try not to be, and so that's the best I can do. Anyway, guys, go ahead and let me know what you think. If you experience the same thing, if you're kind of in the same mindset as I am, I'd like to know, just to know that I'm not the only one, or maybe I am. I have no idea. So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. I hope you agree, but either way, that's pretty much all I got. So thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.